What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Big Lou, back with another episode of Steel City Muscle Podcast. And today we got a special guest in the building. I feel like today's conversation is going to be how these conversations should have been going. We're going to make sure we're going to have a great conversation. We got some great topics today. We want to introduce you to
Just Jessica, but Jess is just fine.
social media. Any
Ms. Jessica Andrea. No underscore, no nothing. Just Ms. Jessica. That's with a Z.
and what platform is that?
Instagram.
All right. And follow me on 412 Steel City Muscle on Instagram and YouTube, where all the podcasts, the video, and the audio will be. Give your feedback. You can email me at 412 at Steel City Muscle or 412 Steel City Muscle at gmail.com for any questions, comments, if you want to be a guest. Like, share, subscribe the video, and we're going to jump right into it. Oh, my brother is here.
What up? Y'all know Ray Valentine, Raymond P. Valentine at Instagram.
And share the video with your friends. Let's get these followers up. We're going to jump right into it like I always do. Jess, this is her first time on the podcast. I just want to, share with her that we want to have a structured, progressive conversation. That's the idea. That's the goal. We're going to go over topics. I want to know how you feel about it, what you think, because your perspective is what we want to get out of this. My perspective, Ray's perspective. I think it's going to be a great conversation. And I'm looking forward to getting started. Ready to go?
I'm ready. Let's get it.
All right. First topic of the day. All right. Do you believe in universal equality between men and women? Or do you believe in circumstantial equality amongst men and women? And which one is more beneficial to the success of the relationships between men and women? So I'll give you an example. Like traditional men and women, a traditional relationship is circumstantial. Mm-hmm. That means the man has these roles, the woman has these roles, and that contributes to the greater good of the unit, the team. Or do you believe in, okay, across the board, we're equal. We split the bills. It doesn't matter who approaches who. It doesn't matter who protects who. It doesn't matter who makes the most money. It doesn't anything.
Absolutely not.
All right. So I want to get your perspective on it. We'll get Ray's perspective on it, and then I'll give mine, and then we'll do like another round and then follow up. Yeah. So tell me what you think.
Circumstantial. I believe in gender roles. Okay. And it's whatever, different strokes for different folks. You know what I mean? Like every relationship isn't going to be the same, and how you distribute the different roles isn't going to be the same for it's not going to look the same for every relationship. However, as a woman, I know that I'm more feminine. I know that I take on a more nurturing position, right? A man is supposed to be the protector. The only way that I can respect you as my man is to know that I'm fully protected at all times. What do I look like protecting you? That's not happening. So, yeah, I feel like we all have our roles to play. People have their roles to play, and that goes for any type of relationship, but exclusively to men and women. Absolutely. You determine what roles work best in your relationship, but ultimately we're not going to have the same roles. That's how I feel.
How you feel about it, Ray? Like as far as, and equality is hard to explain because there's so many different dynamics of a relationship that require a dominant role and a submissive role. Okay. So, but when you say equality and you go across the board, we start hitting some gray areas because, go ahead. I'll tell you what I think, but I want to hear what you feel.
Like, I definitely think there are gender roles, and guys play a position and women play a position in each relationship. So, I mean, if that's what's wrong with society today is because people are trying to step out of that role for themselves and become something else. Mm-hmm. And that changes the whole dynamic for the other person in that relationship. So, yeah, I for one.
So circumstantial roles is more beneficial to successful relationships?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody has a job to play.
Man and woman, Adam and Eve.
Play your role.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree with you both. I want to add something almost to what you guys said. I don't want to take away from what you guys said because I agree with what you said. I think equality is impossible. So I don't even think you can have an argument or a debate against or for equality, because here's the problem. You can take the most masculine female in the world, right? Mm-hmm. Let her be in a burning building. Let the ship being sunk in the sea. Women and children first. Let's be real, okay? You're an above average size man. Mm-hmm. So am I. Mm-hmm. Do you think my woman, we gonna wake up in the middle of the night and there's somebody breaking in my house? I'm gonna be like, yo,
hey girl,
hey man, go get your equal ass up and go take care of that, because right now I don't feel like protected.
Exactly.
I can't do that. So I feel like even whether you recognize it or not, whether you're focused on equality or not, I think it's impossible, because I feel like when things go awry, mm-hmm. natural gender roles will take place. And there was and I'm going to throw this out there, because it didn't shock me. There was a reality TV show in the UK, right? Mm-hmm. They took 1,000 women, put them on an island. They put 1,000 men, put them on an island, and let them onto their own devices. Didn't give them no equipment, no nothing. Within 1 week, the women almost died. They had to rescue the women because they didn't know how to protect themselves. Yeah. They didn't know how to hunt for food. Right. And I'm not saying that it's like men are better than women or less. No, I'm not saying that. The men were fine, but nobody gave a fuck about each other in a nurturing sense. It was like survival of the fittest. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that we need each other. There are gender roles. Even if you took men and women together and threw them all on an island, mm-hmm. with no resources, right. What's going to happen? The natural gender roles are going to come up. Men, y'all go hunt. Women, y'all go cook. Women are going to start cleaning because the men are out hunting. Mm-hmm. Like, this stuff is going to happen. Now, do I agree with equality mentally? Mm-hmm. Yes, but I think it's disrespectful to be like, all right, my natural, like if you're naturally nurturing, mm-hmm. I think it's disrespectful to ignore that. As a man, if I'm a man and I'm a protector, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. I can't circumstantially do that. I have to do that all the fucking time. If I want to, in the sense of equality, say, you know what? No, fuck it. Let these women be equal. I'm not protecting. I can't do that. It's disrespectful to my role.
But then we also gotta, okay, so what does that include? So you saying like equality, but there's certain things. So are we talking about the bills? Are we talking about cooking, cleaning, everything, taking care of the children, things like that? Like everybody is not going to be the same in every area. That's what I'm saying. Like it has to be unique to the relationship. Like you use the example of the men and the women on a different island. Well, if the women were well equipped and they knew what they were doing, I would wonder what type of women did they pick? Because there are women who hunt and know how to do X, Y, and Z, and some men that may not. So what I'm saying is those roles might look different in different areas. Like, yeah, women are supposed to be natural nurturers, but if I'm working all day and I'm a woman and I'm going to work every day, you're going to work every day, the first person who gets in the house is the one who's going to cook, in my mind. It's not going to be me if I'm coming in at 7 o'clock and you're the man who's coming in at 4, or if I'm coming in at 8 and the children aren't bathed yet and putting, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the roles are going to look different. There's going to be different roles in different circumstances, and I don't think anything is wrong with that either, if you know what I mean.
I agree. And I'll bring another perspective. I'll give an analogy, right? Your credit. There are certain things that are soft credit hits. Yeah. And there are certain things that are hard inquiries, right? Mm-hmm. I think, like what you said, you just stated convenience. What's the convenience of our relationship? Maybe our schedules are different to where I make it home before you. So me cooking more often makes sense. Mm-hmm. That's convenience. Yeah. That's different. That's a soft hit to the gender roles. We're talking about hard inquiries. At the end of the day, you could work your ass off. I could work my ass off. An intruder comes in our house. You're not doing nothing.
Right,
because that's
we
me.
Talked about the question. A part of the question was contributing to a successful relationship.
So circumstantial is more beneficial,
right? But the little things, they add up.
I agree, but what I'm saying is that
add to a successful relationship.
Right, the fact that there is little things shows it's circumstantial.
Right. So I agree with All
right, so we're all on the same page. Basically, we all agree circumstantial is more beneficial to relationships. Yeah. And I want to throw this in there to see if y'all agree. I also think because it's been circumstantial. That's why our grandparents were together 30, 40, 50 years. That's why our moms were together 30, 40, 50. See, that's why those things happened.
But I don't because they had. I agree with that because things have changed so much. Like now, okay, and I don't want to get into. I know there's a question, and we'll wait till we get to that one. But things have changed. Women are now getting up and going to work with men. Mm-hmm. Women are now the breadwinners. You know what I mean? Like so that has changed the dynamics of the relationship, and also in terms of like longevity. Mm-hmm. Because now women are like, I don't need you. I'm good. We're good over here. Sure. So
I agree with you, but I also feel like, well, not that I feel. I know. Women working is not a new concept, but the mindset in today's society is like this is so new, and it's not. Women have been working for a long time now. Even in World War II, when men went to war, women stayed home and worked. So women working is not new. And I think it's weird how...
Factories, hard jobs.
Right,
but
the
that
sustainability...
Was out of necessity.
Right.
That was out of necessity.
I understand that. But what I'm saying is that the sustainability of that mindset is what's shocking to me because it's not new. Like, social media is new. That's the last 10 years, literally. Mm-hmm. Women working is not new. But I will say the exposure of how much women work, how much they do, how more in some relationships they have a more masculine role or dominant role. Instead, let's not even call it masculine, let's call it dominant role. That takes place. And I also think that because that has happened if you look at a relationship like a business, right? Because let's be honest, nobody goes into business to not make money, which means you're profiting off of somebody. Somebody's doing the work, you're profiting. Okay? When you expose your work, somebody's going to try to profit off of that. So that goes back. That's going to go into my next question. Bum ass dudes, bum ass girls, good men, good women, the disparities between them. I think because men have been known, I'll give you an example. Like men have been known to always be the provider, right? Mm-hmm. They go out and work. So then what do the women do? When they're out shopping for a man, I'm going to find the best provider. So now we got female providers. Mm-hmm. So now you get these bum ass dudes out there like, oh, let me shop and find the best female provider.
Because we're no longer looking for necessarily the best provider, like you said. So we're getting up and we're going to work now. You said that's not a new concept. No, it's not a new concept, but you're adding another component. That component is more high-driven careers, careers that take more time. I travel for work. So I need for my baby's father to step up and keep my son because I'm not going to be here. So my career is more high-driven than his. So if we were in a relationship, it would that dynamic would look different.
Okay.
But so that is the one thing that changes to me. Now I'm not looking for a provide, like necessarily somebody who can provide. I just need you to be self-sufficient and be able to add to the table. But I also need you to become emotionally intelligent and be able to be aware of all the baggage that you have that come up with you. So we have emotional baggage, and I need to know that shit is unpacked. You've unpacked that. To me, I think that women now who have went to college, who are pursuing high-driven careers, who are working, who are making six figures, we're not necessarily looking for a man who's making six figures with me. We just want to know that you can protect me emotionally, that you can communicate with me in a productive way, that when shit hits the fan, we can sit down and talk about it, and I know you ain't just going to leave. So I think that's what women are looking for now more than, like, there's this persona that men think that women want the guy who's taking care of them or have multiple businesses and this and that. And I'm sure there are women like that. Don't get it fucked up. I know. But for like the women who are emotionally stable with a career, who go to work every fucking day, who's taking care of their kids, we want someone who can contribute more than financially, because you can contribute financially, but once you start fucking with my peace, then you gotta go. And I don't care how much money you're making or what you bringing to the table.
Can I reply to that? Not rebuttal, reply. What you just said, word for word, was literally a man's speech. Men don't care about your finances. They don't care about, they want what you said, their peace. So if I'm a 1% man or a 5%, 20% man, I want my peace. Right. I don't care if my woman works. I don't care. You literally just, and I'm not saying this against you.
I think like so I get that.
But I'm not calling you masculine.
Right.
I'm saying just speech. If I say, yo, if I take a survey and I wrote down,
see a woman saying that,
right? If I wrote down that speech that you just said, and I said, who y'all think said that? A man or woman? 99% of the people will say a man. And I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm saying that that's what it would sound like.
Yeah.
Right.
Like if I was a man and I said, hey, I'm nurturing. I'm going to take care of the kids. I'm going to cook, clean. I'm going to do this and that. And I wrote that down and I said, survey. Who said that speech? Man or woman? You would say a woman most of the time. Now, a self-sufficient, high-valued woman can say that. That's why I don't like that speech being granted as just masculine. Because I think that's like demeaning in a sense.
Yes.
I'm saying that's just a speech of a rare person.
Okay. And I know where we're going with this.
That's how, you see what I'm saying?
I know where we're going with this.
That's how I would label that, okay?
Okay. So
see, you almost created a new question for me, me, okay? Let's go into the next question. And I like where that left off at. I worked as a security guard, as a side job. And I've been doing it 21 years. Ray, 20 years. We're both 21, actually been doing as long as me. So we have an outside perspective and get to see the landscape of the dating scene, whether we're in it or not.
Right.
We still get to see it. So we notice. We should write books on the stuff that we see. Yeah. Stuff that we see. And one thing I love about me and my brother is this: we're not one of those people that can see a lot of shit and it alters our opinion. No. We don't. We just say, all right, cool. I notice these trends. Right. I can attach myself or detach myself to this sector of the trends. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
they exist.
We know they exist. So we know what to avoid. We know what to, but we still can talk about, yo, I'm seeing this.
Yeah, this is crazy.
So then we go to this sector, and these men and women are saying this exists, this don't exist. We go to this sector, they're saying this exists, that exists. So literally, you can go places and get different perspectives. So here's a theory I came up with, and I'm gonna give my opinion on it first this time, and then I want your opinion and Ray's opinion.
Great.
I sternly believe, okay, good men and good women don't meet. They don't. I also believe the second part of that is because of bad men and bad women.
They don't meet ever?
They rarely.
Okay.
Okay? It's rare. It's like seeing a unicorn. Okay? And here's what I think. If you consider yourself a good woman, okay, which means you're different. And most women don't understand this, the fact that if I put 10 women in a room and they're all pretty, you can't, and I say, all right, well, rate yourselves from 1 to 10. And I say, well, what's the average in the room? Well, what's average? Average is 5. You can't all call yourselves 10s.
Absolutely not.
That brings the whole group down.
You see what I'm saying? So, but people do that. Okay, so if you're a good woman, you're rare. And the problem I have a problem with good women, because good women don't talk about bad women. They act like whores don't exist. They act like groupies don't exist, and they defend all women. I'm like, I'm all for women's empowerment. I got sisters, like that's fine, but you cannot ignore the bad apples because men don't have that luxury. We talk about the crappy dudes. We talk about the good dudes. Actually, the good dudes get looked at as like simps. That's what they get looked at as. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that this is why we don't meet. So if you say, all right, a good man, here's how he thinks. A good man will say, I'm the profile too. If I'm rare, why should I have to chase women? Which means he doesn't want to be a hunter. Because he feels like I put myself in position to be a commodity as well. So why should I do what these other men are doing as far as like whining and dining you and getting nothing for it? I'm not allowed to expect anything for it. You, even though I'm a good man, you didn't approach me. More than likely, that doesn't happen in general. And he doesn't chase. He also doesn't settle either for what average women do. He expects a good woman. Good women don't take shit from men. Average men. They're used to average men. They're used to being hit on. They're used to above average attention. They're used to being catered to. Like, these are normalities for them. They also have the power to request high value men or expect the most of a man, regardless of knowing whether he's being genuine or not. Because some dudes put on a front just to get you, and then once they get you. So I feel like bad men they turn bad men into chameleons, and then they make these good women scarred. And bad women scar good men. Because then you got good men who get divorced, lose half their shit. 80% of divorces are initiated by women. 90% if the woman has a college degree. That's crazy. So women are incentivized to actually divorce men. Good men. So a lot of women who act like groupies don't exist. They do. But here's the thing about women: when you bring that up, they take offense to it. And I'm like, if I'm not talking to you, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about those bad women. Why can't you talk about the bad women with me? So my thing is this: I think most good women have been scarred because everybody wants you. That's the downfall of being a good woman. I think everybody wants you. Bad men, good men, everybody wants you. Right. So unless you have a tough filtration process to filter out the man that you want, you get swarmed with volume.
Okay.
Good men are inherently lazy. When you're a man of power, you don't do shit. You pay people to do shit. When you want what's easiest to you, okay? If it's easier for me, because here's the thing, we went back to it, like 80% of men are ignored. So now I'm a rare man because I'm not ignored. Now I got an abundance of women to choose from. I want it easy. I don't want to get sex hard. I don't want to get your attention hard. I want my peace. I want it easy, just like they run their businesses.
Is that the good man?
This is the good man. Yeah. Good men pay people to do shit in their business. You'll never see a CEO. You'll never see a CEO detailing his car. He pays somebody to do it. He usually has an in-house chef. He's not cooking. This dude isn't taking out his trash. He got somebody to do that. They want convenience and peace. So, and I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I'm just saying that this is what they do. I'm not saying it's good, but this is what they do. So what I'm saying is that a good man who says, all right, look, I need a good woman. Good men and good women don't go to social places that much. They don't. No. They don't go to social media looking for a spouse. Because here's the thing. Social media, these are the stats. This is my opinion. 67% of relationships fail on social media. Which means it starts from, hey, somebody DMs somebody else. They talk, they connect. They might even have sex or whatever the case may be. But it never leads to a commitment. So 67% fail. So I'm curious as to why people keep running back to social media, dating apps to meet a spouse. It doesn't happen. So, okay, cool. Good man, good woman can't go to dating sites. 70% of profiles on dating sites are a lie. They inflate their profiles. Yeah. A la catfishing. That's where that came from. Okay. How do good men and good women meet when all these barriers are in the way? And now part two of that question is this. The side effect of all the vices that are in front of good men and good women, I feel like are scorning them. So women are thinking men ain't shit. Men are thinking these bitches are hoes and just want my money. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So again, another barrier that stops them from meeting. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you think is really happening? Why do good men and good women don't meet? Go ahead.
First of all, there's so much fucking going on. Okay.
Yes.
Like, social media has created like this false perception of what women are supposed to look like, first of all, and supposed to be, and then vice versa. Okay. There's a lot of lies being told. The picture is being painted, and so a lot of people are drinking that Kool-Aid. So this is what I want. Oh, I want this fitness model, but really, she just got a fucking BBL. That ain't her. Oh, she's making money and this and that. No, she's not. She's really just fucking for it. Okay. Same thing for men. So I think there's just a lot going on, and I think that people are just over it. So if I'm single, you're single, and we're looking for a companion, we don't want to go to the bar to find that. So it's just like, that ain't really my scene, so I'd rather sit in the house. Okay, fine. So do I go to fucking happy hour at Capitol Grill to maybe find it? I don't know. That's a lot of work too. Am I going to do that? Am I going to get dressed up to go and try to find that? Maybe not tonight, because let's face it, I got a full-time job, I got kids, and I'm tired, okay? I think in order for people to want to find a husband or a wife, you really, really, really got to do the work. And that means you got to go out and physically look for it. People don't want to do that. I mean, I'm single. I don't feel like doing that. Like, that's a full-time job in itself. So I got to get up. I got to look cute. I got to go out. I got to mingle at a fucking bar. I got to put on. I got to sit there and try to scope up. Everybody in here is ugly. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I hate to use that word. But not my type. Mm-hmm. And now I'm going home and I just wasted money and energy. And really, all I wanted to do was watch Netflix all night. It's tiresome. That's why I feel like good men and good women aren't finding each other. And people are not realizing that it does take work to do. So you got people who are going to the dating sites because it's like, well, maybe I could do this from my couch and I don't have to get up and get dressed and go do it. I can kind of sift through who I want. Well, like you said, catfishing. People aren't who they portray themselves to be. I can't meet nobody realistically like that. So there's that layer to it. We just don't feel like it. And then there's another layer. People aren't willing to really take accountability and inventory of their own shit. So why can't I find somebody? Like, is it me? Is it maybe, and I'll just say, okay, me, I'm aware of who I am. So, okay, I'm an attractive woman. So maybe it's my demeanor. Maybe I'm not inviting enough. Like, you know what I mean? Not to say that's me, but maybe that's an extra layer to it. So there's a lot of shit going on. And in order to really find somebody, you got to be really ready and willing to sit down and look, because the shit is not going to fall into your lap. It's just not. But I don't think it's the fault of anyone. I think we're all just trying to figure it out.
Can I add to that? So I think you agree with me that good men and good women aren't meeting.
No, I mean, yes, I do.
Rarely.
They're barely meeting.
So it's a rarity.
It is a rarity for people to find love. It is. It's a blessing if you do.
But also, I want to add a side nugget. In the way you described doing the work, like you got to get dressed up, go to the bar, sit down. To me, when I hear that, that sounds like I got to bait myself.
Yeah, but you absolutely do.
You got to put yourself on a fishing hook and cast that bitch and wait for the fish.
But you do.
And that's crazy.
You do.
Because the other thing that initially goes to my mind is we've lost our interpersonal communication skills. Yeah. Like back in the day, and we're old enough to remember this, when you didn't have camera phones, you didn't have social media, this and that, and you had to call somebody's house and you got their mom and dad on the phone. Yeah. You're like, hey, Mrs. Such and such, can I speak to such and such? Your manners had to be in order and on point, but also, too, even to get a girl's house number, you had to do the work. There was no, I'm going to hit her up on Facebook and see what she say. I'm a DM her. DM her? What?
I'm going to meet her in person.
People don't know how to talk to each other nowadays.
They don't know how.
So it's difficult. And I'm not too proud. So if I see somebody attractive enough, I could go over and spike conversation, especially if that's what I came for. Fuck it. If I had a few drinks, fuck it. I'll do it. But people don't know how to reciprocate. People don't know how to talk. You mentioned men having to court women and maybe possibly not getting nothing from it. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. You got to be chivalrous. That don't mean dropping $300 for dinner on our first night. That means just not texting me and picking up the phone or saying, hey, do you have time to talk? Let me call you, because this is another thing men do. You get my number, fine. Now you want me to text you all fucking day. Sir, I have a job. I can't fucking text you all day. And when I get home, I gotta walk the dog. Now I got homework to do with my son. I got shit I gotta do. I can't text you. So pick up the phone and call me. That's another step you got to take as a man to be like, damn, I got to pick up the phone. I got to know how to talk to her. Yeah. People don't know how to do that.
Not no more.
Now you got to figure out how you're going to ask me out. And you think that you should be coming to my house and sit on the couch with me. You ain't about to do that either. Okay? So you gotta learn You gotta learn how to court a woman. And I'm not saying it's all on the men either, because it's women too. Women could be really superficial. So it's all about giving somebody a chance. Just taking a chance. Hey, let's go for drinks. That's it. Mm-hmm. Drinks and chicken. If the bitch don't want to go, she ain't for you.
I want to add to that, because you know what? I just made me look at my list of questions and say, all right, wait, y'all, you got to wait. Hold on, because I got to add to this. The chivalry. And I think I brought this up to you before. I don't know if you know this, right? First of all, I want your opinion on the question as well after I bring this into it, because I want you to add your answer to this.
That's good.
There's actually a women's activist group in Europe right now, or anti-chivalry. They're saying chivalry is offensive. Yeah, chivalry is creating entitlement in men to feel like, oh, I was chivalrous, now you got to do something for me. Okay, hold on. Now the other side to that is this. There are women out there who desire chivalry, but isn't that the same thing as you feel entitled to me opening your door? You feel entitled to me pulling out your chair. You feel with no earning, nothing. You did nothing to deserve this. You expect this, and I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying this is what it is. If you define it, that is entitlement. Okay. Now here's the thing. I'm not disagreeing with chivalry because I'm all for it. Okay, but I understand the flip side to it, because what I think a lot of women don't realize is with chivalry comes risk and fear. So if I know 80% of men are ignored and I'm in that 80%, I got lucky enough to get a chick in the top 20%. I got lucky. I got to figure out what she wants. Does she want chivalry? Is she not chivalrous? I got to figure out, me being chivalrous, is that going to give me the proper, the amount of a response that I'm looking for? Okay? Because a lot of times, let's be honest, if women want something, men are going to do that.
Right. Men
don't buy fast cars because they want to drive fast. They buy fast cars because the women like it.
For pussy.
They don't get VIPs to be alone. They get VIPs. Stop it. They get VIPs because they know girls are going to be in there. What I'm saying is that if women demanded chivalry, men would focus more on it. But the problem I have with chivalry is the fear perspective of it from the average man. A top dude can do that, and a woman's going to feel extra special. Oh, I got a top man and he's chivalrous. But when an average dude does it, it's not viewed as special. Okay? And there's women out there now who are looking down on chivalry. That's also a problem that contributes to the fear of a man. So if he says, all right, I'm chivalrous, she's looking at me like I'm a bitch. Literally.
Like I'm trying to take away from
And that's a lot of masculine women, not all women. But then you got the other side of it is, okay, she wants chivalry. Oh my God, well, that was never required of me before.
Something new.
But I know she's rare. So I got to step up to the plate. But to me, that says that, he's being fake. Because he's not a chivalrous dude. He just identified that that's what you require. And he recognizes that you're special, but he's doing it. But for your benefit, if I'm your friend and you're your brother, I'm going to tell you, that nigga being fake. That nigga ain't chivalrous. He only doing it for you. So that's a lose-lose, because eventually you're going to meet the real him. Eventually that nigga going to stop opening doors, stop pulling out your chairs, stop, whatever. So I'm like, no, avoid him, because he's being chameleon. Like I said before, he's being chameleon. So I think there's a lot of, between men and women, there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of instead of people, they want this security in results. And instead, they're not taking the attempt to do the work, like what you said. Like, hey, let me put myself out there. Let me do it.
Right. But, listen. The reality of it is everybody is not going to be on the same page. Everybody's not going to have the same agenda. So, yeah, the nigga who ain't typically chivalrous might be chivalrous. They get pussy. Okay? You're going to do things to complete the mission. And as women or men, you got to discern what's the truth. And figure out, like, okay, is this nigga opening up my door and winding down to me for the now so that he can get pussy, or is this who he truly is? And that's a whole nother, I think that's a whole nother topic. Mm-hmm. But I don't know who this women's group is, and no disrespect, but I think that's a small percentage of women at this point. I think most women you talk to, if you ask them like, hey, do you value chivalry? They're going to say yes. Like, yes, open up my fucking door. That ain't, like, open up my door for me. We sit down, pull out my chair. And women aren't, it's not a hard, like, thing for women. It's not like, okay, every time we do this, you must do this. Like, no, it's just like,
what kind of thing to do?
Yeah, like, typically when we go out, open my door, pull out my chair. What about flowers? What about just calling me up? Hey, how are you doing today? How are you feeling? Are you feeling okay? Like, certain things like that is chivalrous behavior, and it costs absolutely nothing to just be someone who is interested in this woman and her well-being and making sure she's good. Not financially, just emotionally. Hey, how's your mental state? How you feeling today?
So let me ask you a question. I want to add to that. Do you think that it's important from a woman's perspective, or do you ever think about it, that is his chivalry genuine or not?
Yes, you always have to question it.
So you do want it to be genuine? I
want it to be genuine. I want that to be who you are. You're not just for me, because I'm looking at 5, 10, 15 years down the line. Are you going to stop? Yeah, like, is that behavior that's going to stop, or is it going to continue? Because
to me, if you think about it, when you say courting a woman, that's all what it sounds like. It might not be the definition of it, but what it sounds like is do what you need to do to get her. That's what it sounds like.
That is what courting is.
Yeah, right. So do what you do.
But isn't that false?
It is. Well, no, because courting should continue throughout the duration of your relationship.
I agree to that. I don't think most people agree to that, but I do. I definitely agree to that.
Because I've been in a relationship where he courted me, and then all of a sudden I woke up one day like, when the fuck is the last time you showed interest in me? Mm-hmm. And that matters. That's when the relationship starts to fail. If you don't show any interest, and women have a separate role in that as well. But speaking just from a male's from a male to a woman, yes, I as a woman, I want you to always show me that you're interested in me. Exactly. If you're not, then what the fuck are we doing here? If you're not asking me on dates, even still when we're together, or not buying me flowers, or not, pulling out my chair, then I know at that point that you bamboozled the fuck out of me.
Okay, so I want to add something to that, because I think, and I want your opinion, because we got to go to you. All right, go ahead. So the reason, what I want to add to that is this. Not that I agree with it or disagree with it, it doesn't matter. I understand why a lot of men court, and I understand why a lot of them stop. Because at the end of the day, if a man courts a woman and she gives a certain response to the courting, that to him is inherently motivation to continue the courting. Yeah. If she stops responding to the courting, he will stop courting. Yeah. So I think it is still on both parties as far as the courting and the continuation of the courting.
It is.
Okay, good. I want your answer, Ray, to the question while she's in the restroom. Why do you think good men and good women don't meet? And why do you think that is? Do you think it's because of the like what I said, the vices and barriers that are between them that cause that, or do you think it's something else? What do you want to add to that?
The reason why I think good women and good men don't meet is because since the dawn of smartphones, social media, whenever that started, it started being easier for people not to talk, not to conversate, and less communication equals less in a relationship. So good women and good men aren't meeting because they're distancing themselves by putting all these other obstacles in between. I'll wait till it comes back for them. Okay. How's it so far?
It's good. I like the content. I like the content. I like the question. They're very engaging. And I like it.
That's good.
Yeah, it came up with some good ones.
Great conversation.
Yeah, conversation is dope. Here for it.
It don't get easy. It's not easy all the time.
I'm a woman who had children, so that might happen a few more times. Okay. After that, my blood is terrible.
Yeah, man, I go through so much water. It's not even funny.
So you're in my boat.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so we talked about the courting, and what I said to him was, like, the thing about courting, I don't know if women in general think about this perspective. A man's going to court you, right? Let's say he's willing. He's a willing participant. I really like this girl. Oh, my God. She likes courting. I want to do that because I want to make her happy. Mm-hmm. And he does that. A man then, from that point on, literally makes mental notes of everything he does to court her and her response. If her responses start to change from the courting, he will stop.
As he should.
Okay, cool. So I just wanted to put that out there because I don't know if a lot of women understand that, like, the continuation of the courting does depend on both people.
The relationship has to be progressive.
Absolutely.
Like, you can't, and I think that some men think that, like, all right, well, this bitch think I could, I'm just going to be spending money on her ass. And it's just like, no. Like, and really, you don't have to spend that much. Truth. Like, women aren't looking for you to really spend large amounts of money. Like, that's not it. We just want you to show interest and act like you give a fuck and not that you're trying to come up. Because niggas will, oh, what you doing? Oh, you cooking? Oh, I would love a home cooked meal. Can I come over? No, motherfucker, you cannot come over.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that that's a perspective only from good women or all women?
It's not going to be a perspective from all women. You know what I mean? So I am operating off of a perspective of me because I am me, but the perspective is going to be different. My thing is, when it comes time for a man to go out and fish and, figure out what he wants, my only advice is, of course, don't pursue a woman who is not interested or not sending you the signs or you're not getting positive feedback from what you're doing.
Sure. Here's the reason why I brought that up is because I feel like I've seen a lot of times men go out, because I don't know if women know this, that single men do this. Mm-hmm. They go by fractions, the average. Mm-hmm. If a man goes out on a mission, I'm going to find me a girl tonight. Mm-hmm. In his head, what's a good night? 3 out of 10. I talk to 10 women, I get 3 numbers. That's a good night. Mm-hmm. The man talks about, okay, I talked to 20 women. Mm-hmm. I got 8 numbers. So he thinks laws of average, and he thinks fractions, and he thinks in his head. So also too, then you say, all right, let's take the 3 he got. Let's take the 8 he got. Who do I got to court? Who do I don't got to court? What if all 8 women are courting is rare to them? Mm-hmm. So they don't know how to act. You do that shit and it's unappreciated. Yeah. I open your door, you don't say thank you. I pull out your chair, you don't give a fuck. A man does this, a man does that. So he's courting. Mm-hmm. So that female can go out and brag, oh, he did this, he did that, he did, but she didn't really give a shit. She didn't reciprocate. She didn't reciprocate the response. So my point is this: for that man, what does he do? Because he found a chick that wanted courting. She didn't give the response. So he deletes that number.
It's a wrap.
So basically, you could say a female shouldn't want courting if she don't know how to treat it.
She's not interested in you, bruh.
If she don't know how to treat it. If she don't know how to treat the courting, she don't deserve it.
I swear to God. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I feel like if a female is interested, it doesn't matter if she's interested or not. If it's, but that part. It does matter if she's interested or not. Because if she'd never been courted before, she doesn't know how to take it, she would still like it from a man that she's interested in.
But how does she show it if she ain't never had it?
That ain't your problem.
If y'all are interested in each other, she's going to be happy about it. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And if she's not, it's simply not your fucking problem. Exactly. It's just not. Please. Everybody ain't for every. I always say dating is like the wild, wild west. It really is. It's hard out here.
You don't know what's going to happen.
Can I? I want to give y'all. I want to give y'all a quick story. Tell me if I'm wrong for this, because this again. So you only know a little bit about me. He knows a lot about me. Okay, so you know how I am, especially towards attractive women, women in general. Oh, yeah. I got sisters out the ass. I have utmost respect for women.
True.
I'm chivalrous by nature, and it's not like I gotta try. It's just me. It's what I do, right?
Right.
If I'm walking into a store, I make the effort. I'm gonna open her door. I see her coming. She's in my peripheral. I don't even gotta know the chick.
Period.
I don't want nothing from her.
Right.
I ain't trying